In this video, we're going to introduce you to various knots that can be used in tarp setup. These knots are going to be simple to tie, they stay tied, they're quick release when being untied, and they can create tension so your tarp has a nice tight finish to it. Let's start with attaching the tarp to a tree. We're going to start with a 2-wrap and a slip knot to attach one side of a guy line to the tree. So this way we have the tarp and we're going to go around the tree. Nice sturdy tree, hopefully. We're going to go around once and we're going to cross over on the second time around like so. And then around the guy line going to the tarp, we're going to tie a slip knot. And the slip knot is essentially a small amount of rope that's stuffed through a twist like so. The nice thing about this is that when you go to untie this knot, you simply pull on the end of the rope and this comes undone without fuss, and then the rest of the rope comes out. Another useful knot for attaching the guy line to a tree is the bowline. This is especially useful when you only have enough rope to go around the tree once, but it can be used really in any situation. There's more than one way to tie a bowline, but here's one of them. First, put the rope around the tree and create a slip knot on the tarp side near the tree. Then take the end of the rope and place it through the loop created in your slip knot. Once you've done that, pull on the end of the rope and the rope going towards the tarp to create your bowline. Once you have attached one side of your tarp with a bowline or some sort of a quick release knot, you will now need to come up with a way of tensioning the tarp, and one of the best ways to do that is with the TRUCKE'R'S hitch. So let's show you how the TRUCKE'R'S hitch works. So this way goes to the tarp and this way is going towards the tree. As you can see, we're going to wrap around the tree like so. We're now going to go back between the tree and the tarp and we're going to create a slip knot on this part of the rope. We want to go back far enough that allows us enough fetch to tighten once we go through it. So a slip knot is essentially a loop, and then we're going to reach through this loop and grab the rope on the tree side. So we're going to reach through and grab the rope on the tree side and just pull a loop through, just a small loop. If you pull on this now and it comes apart, then you've done it right. So let's just do that one more time. A loop, reach through on the tree side, and you now have a slip knot. We can now reach back and grab the rope that's going around the tree, find the end of that rope, and go through the slip knot loop you have created, like so. So now we are going to tighten by pulling on the end of the rope against the slip knot loop until we have created enough tension, and then we need to tie it off with another slip knot, like so. To release all this is very easy. You just pull on the release knot, that comes apart, pull it out of the loop, and then pull apart the last slip knot, and you have a knot-free guy line. To tie a clove hitch, all you need to do is create 2 loops in the rope, with one having the rope running over top and one underneath. Once tied, you need to slide both of the loops together and place the object, such as a tent peg, into the clove hitch and tighten either end by tugging on the ropes. So we have a guy line here coming from a tarp, and it's coming down to a loop in the end. And this is quite typical with a lot of guy lines. There will be a loop put in the end that can be used with a peg. So the peg can be put into that loop and then put into the ground. The problem with this is that there's no adjustment for where this peg can go. So if you hit a rock or very hard ground right at this spot, you're kind of out of luck. So I'm going to show you how taking this loop out, or not having a loop in the end, and using the clove hitch will help. So we can put a clove hitch in anywhere on this line. We can put our peg in, tighten the clove hitch up around the peg, and then we can put it into the ground at the spot that we like. If that doesn't work, we can actually adjust where the peg sits and put it back into the ground at that spot. In the event one of the corners of your tarp has been ripped and the guy line is no longer attachable, you can actually salvage the corner of the tarp by putting an object like a pine cone or a small rock into the corner of the tarp, folding the tarp over it, and then using a clove hitch to capture that object within the corner of the tarp. In doing so, you can now continue to use your tarp effectively. Once you've taken down your tarp and you go to stuff it back into the stuff sack, you need to think about the guy lines and will they come out without being a complete jumbled knot upon taking it out of the stuff sack again. You can take your chances and stuff it back into the sack without doing anything with the guy lines, or I'm going to show you a way that you can wrap up your guy lines in a way that you'll ensure that they will come out smoothly from the sack. Start with a hand with slightly spread fingers and wrap the rope around as many times as it takes to get to about a meter or less from the tarp. Once you have arrived there, take it off your hand and start wrapping the remaining rope around the bundle, working up towards the hand holding the bundle. Then take a bight of rope and pass it through the top of the bundle, and finally place that bight around the top of the bundle and tighten to lock it in place. We hope that this video has taken away some of the anxiety you may have felt about tying knots to set up tarps. If you tie knots that are easy to tie, don't use too much rope, quick and easy to untie, and also knots and hitches that will allow you to tension the tarp effectively. If you do all those things, hopefully you will be able to set up tarps quickly and efficiently and get your group out of the rain.